If you missed my video in regards to the MR2 and the Celica, as well as the LFR, the Lexus flagship sports car, check those videos out. We have this excellent edition of Best Car Magazine coming out of Japan, detailing a bunch of new exciting products coming out in the next year or two from the Japanese automakers. And this is the most reputable magazine. They're not always right. They're really close a lot of the time. Look at what would they have down here. Besides, not the baby FJ, that's a different video. Look at the CX-5. We have a beautiful rendering of the next generation CX-5 from Mazda. If you guys missed my recent video where I compared the 100 plus cars that I reviewed last year, the Mazda CX-5, even though it's been around since what, 2016, 2017, something like that, with very little changes, it made the top 5 out of the best cars that I drove last year. I didn't drive every car available on the market last year, but out of the ones I drove, this is my favorite compact to mid-size crossover. Technically, it's a compact. This is my favorite one. And I'm excited for the next generation. It should be coming next year. And we're going to dive into this article from Best Car Magazine to see what other information can we take from this. Is there anything new here? Let's talk about the design. We'll talk about this incredible vehicle, the Mazda EZ6. Guys, grab your snacks and drinks. Buckle in if you're excited for Mazda's redesigned CX-5. Smash the like button, and let's get into it. They typically get insider information, sometimes are allowed to share the actual image of the vehicles, or at least sometimes they're allowed to see the vehicle, and then they can't take pictures of it in theory. This is me and what David and I have talked about, David from Automotive Press. Check out his channel if you haven't. But we kind of talk about how Best Car has this kind of insider info where they get to not only know about the new cars coming out, but they also get to see them. So is this the true design of the next generation CX-5? I don't know. Time will tell. It could be, but it might not look anything like this. Let me know what you think about the design. Obviously, we have the played out light bar situation on the back. Mazda could be going that route. They don't have a light bar in the CX-60, 70, 80, or 90. All right, so they could be doing the light bar here because it's just, I don't know, everyone's doing it. It's a big trend. I don't know why everyone's doing it. Maybe it's cheaper. I have no idea. All right, the front end here. Well, this is a very common trend as well. I just reviewed the new Chevy Equinox, and that vehicle also separates the daytime running lights up high and then has the nighttime lights down below. All right, the CX-60 through 90, they have them all kind of combined into the same module. So this is a big step away for Mazda if they were to slot the headlights down below the daytime running lights. All right, if you guys remember, we did have a new concept from Mazda this past year. They revealed the Arata concept alongside of the EZ6. And the EZ6 is on sale already. We'll talk more about this at the back end of this video. And I'm kind of stitching this in into the video because I was editing it and I'm like, wait a second. Is this the first time we've seen the lights departed and this kind of design? Actually, no, because if we look at the Arata concept, you see a lot of the same or general design traits here. Same general shape of this headlight design below the daytime running lights. Now, this concept, it's maybe too high end. I mean, it's concept, so there's no like cost cutting in a concept a lot of the time. So like the daytime running lights literally also make up the grille, which is pretty cool looking. Now, look what the Best Car's doing at the top of the grille. They kind of have this cutout here, like we have this potential cutout above this illuminated Mazda logo as well. All right, so we're seeing, I guess, some inspiration in Best Car's render from the front end of the Arata concept. But what about the back end? Is this also taking inspiration from this concept that we saw in China? Well, I love this side profile here. Some people are saying, oh, you know, Kirk, this looks more like a CX-30. I disagree. I really think this is hopefully the template that the CX-5 will follow. And yeah, we really don't have the best pictures of the back. These are all the ones that Mazda supplied. We don't really have a light bar in the back. So I think Best Car is taking some liberties here. I would much rather see this sort of rear design Obviously, it's more sharp. This looks more rounded off like the CX-60, but I love this cool taillight design, real slim, but also is separated with some red Mazda lettering. Now, they keep the Mazda lettering here instead of a Mazda badge, which also is a very popular trend on the market right now, to get rid of your logo on the back and just do the font. I really like this illuminated font on the back. I am reviewing a Lincoln Nautilus right now, and on the back it also has font, but it's illuminated and looks pretty cool inside of the rear taillights. So I hope Mazda does something of this caliber here. But the problem is it might be too expensive. They might cheap out and go this light bar route. Also, they put a rear windshield wiper, which surely is going to be also featured on the the true production model. Yeah, look at those taillights, absolutely beautiful. The rear end here looks great, and I really hope the new CX-5 looks very similar to this concept. What we're seeing up here is just, is it improvement over the current CX-5? Which I have right here. I would say probably not. I would say the current CX-5 looks better than what we have on this render. So anyways, let's get back into breaking down what Beskar has to say. Mazda is introducing their own in-house hybrid, and this new in-house hybrid is going to be, in theory, quite a bit different than what we see with the 2.5 liter hybrid that Toyota is using in the CX-50 hybrid that's built in Huntsville, Alabama. That hybrid is just using Toyota's RAV4 hybrid, their 4th gen hybrid system, and plopping it into the Mazda. It's fine. Watch my review on it. It drives, well, at least the engine character is very similar to the RAV4. It might be a little bit quieter than the RAV4 hybrid. It handles a little bit more fun than the RAV4 hybrid. The interior is a lot nicer on the CX-50 hybrid, but it doesn't feel like it has the Mazda playful soul in it. It has the Toyota utilitarian soul to it. It's still a very good car. Now take it over the RAV4 hybrid, the CX-50 hybrid, but it doesn't really feel Mazda. All right. So this new hybrid powertrain debuting in the new CX-5, built in Japan, it will, in theory, feel Mazda. Should be a little bit sportier. It should have good fuel economy, but that's not going to be the main focus, I don't think. Now, they mentioned diesel in here, or plug-in hybrid. They're not ruling it out. Obviously, diesel, not for our market. Most Americans would really like to have a diesel powertrain option. It's just the emissions regulations here keep them out. Now, plug-in hybrid, that's an exciting possibility. I really enjoy the plug-in hybrid on the CX-90. I think it allows for a smoother experience in that vehicle compared to the inline six. It's heavier, so it's not quite as fun of a handling vehicle. Doesn't accelerate in the same brisk manner as the inline six, but in terms of smoothness, and I would say transmission behavior, the plug-in hybrid's a better experience. So it's a more luxurious experience, I guess you could say, the plug-in hybrid. So I think Mazda absolutely should offer a plug-in hybrid like the RAV4 plug-in hybrid / Prime if they want to keep competing on multiple powertrain fronts. They're saying it will adopt the new driving assistance systems from the CX-60, 70, 80, 90. But those systems, even though they're the best out of the Mazda vehicles, they're still not very good, in my opinion, compared to some. At this point, they should just they should be using Toyota's driver assistant technologies. Toyota's is better. It's probably cheaper for Mazda to just rent out and use Toyota's driver assistant systems. And Toyota's driver assistant systems are on all their models for the most part. There are some features like traffic jam assist and front cross traffic alert, which I don't recommend those things even on a Toyota. But their base suite, the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, Mazda should just be using it at this point. And I hope they do on the Mazda CX-5, but it looks like they're just going to copy and paste what they have on the CX-90, for example. They're saying December 2025 is when we're going to see this. So I'm excited for it. Is there any new information here? Well, if these renders turn out to be accurate, yes, it's new information, but this is the first time also I've heard of a hint or a sniff of a plug-in hybrid on the CX-5. And December 2025 is the most bold claim I've heard about the vehicle being available. All right, so any more details here? It looks like they're going to use the 2.5 liter engine that they have currently in the CX-5. Now, if you look at the CX-5, it has a naturally aspirated 2.5 and a turbo 2.5. So are they going to use the exact same kind of getting along in the tooth engine technology here? Probably, I would say. Yeah, so it'll probably have the 2.5-liter Skyactiv G engines that we currently have, but Mazda's working on next-gen Skyactiv engines called Skyactiv Z. They probably won't come until 2027, and so it'll likely miss the launch, assuming late 2025, of the new CX-5. Of course, they could be equipped with these new Skyactiv Z engines later, which essentially are more efficient, potentially more powerful, can run on alternate fuels, etc. That could be retroactively placed, I guess you could say, on the CX-5 after just a couple model years. But yeah, it's not going to be available at launch, this new technology on the engine side of things for Mazda. Now, unfortunately, they don't give us any information on hybrid transmission. If you look at Toyota, Toyota just uses eCVT. It's very, very efficient, essentially bulletproof, their eCVT, their planetary gear split device, and it's affordable. Did I say that? So it's durable, affordable, and efficient. Mazda doesn't seem to want to go that route. If they put an automatic transmission in here, in theory, that adds weight to this system. It adds cost to this hybrid system. Now, if you look at what Honda's doing with their next generation hybrids, as it's been debuted on the new Prelude. Prologue's the EV, Prelude is their sport coupe hybrid that's coming out next year. That vehicle, it's going to be able to mimic like a true DCT with its eCVT setup. And how Honda's doing it, it keeps it lightweight. It keeps it affordable. Just with you push a button and it makes it turn into something that feels like it has a true DCT to it. A high performance transmission, even though it's not really there. It's just being programmed into this setup. Hopefully Mazda does something like that, because as much as I like a true automatic in their hybrids, it adds to the complexity, cost, and potential durability or lack of durability. Also, you guys in the comments on the Mazda CX-5, regardless, it's going to be successful. I cannot wait to see it debut sometime next year and be available hopefully by the end of next year. Now, this is a fun talking point over in Japan, is that Mazda has this beautiful sedan that is similar in size to the old Mazda 6, maybe a little bit smaller. They have fully electric versions of it. They have extended range electric versions of it. A cruising range of 1,000 kilometers, which is 600 miles or so on the plug-in hybrid, or I should say EREV version of it. And it's rear-wheel drive biased, which is pretty incredible. I believe the plug-in hybrid's rear-wheel drive only, and I think the EV is optional dual motor all-wheel drive. But there's still a possibility that Mazda could import it into Japan. 0% chance we would get it in the Americas, or should I say United States specifically, due to the tariffs on Chinese EVs. But yeah, Changan Mazda's building this beautiful EZ6 electrified sedan. It's very affordable, but yes, it's a forbidden fruit. The CX-5 100% will be coming to America, but you're not going to have this sort of EREV technology on it or fully electric variants of the CX-5. It's possible, I guess, we could see a fully electric CX-5, but Mazda just is not interested in EVs unless it's the Chinese market. If there is an additional update in the near future on the CX-5, stay tuned. I will bring it to you guys. You seem to really enjoy the CX-5 coverage here on the channel. And like I said, it made my top 5 vehicles of 2024, even though it's super old compared to most of its counterparts on the market. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace out. Have a great new year. If I didn't mention that, Happy New Year. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you in 2025. Peace.